We're visiting the black and white villages of Herefordshire, following the 1938 Arthur Mee's guide to Herefordshire. And we're now in Webley, which Arthur Mee calls, as his title, Memories of the Civil War. So, Webley, a little town of great memories and exceeding charm, it has lost the castle which saw so much border warfare in Norman days, but still, as we walk about the streets, we feel the spirit of the past. Though the castle has vanished, some of its earthworks remain after 800 years, and lawns and flowers are lovely now where rebels used to fight. At every turn in this old town we come upon black and white houses with handsome gables, and it is one of the most picturesque streets in the whole county that leads us to the church. Its houses stand as if they had grown like flowers, along any line and to any height and shape they please, and their tiled roofs and gables and upper floors lean over the narrow pavements as if to whisper secrets to the passer-by. In the midst of them, a graceful 14th century spire rises from flying buttresses and tapers into the sky. The wide churchyard has a cross on a medieval base, and the church comes mostly from the medieval centuries, though the doorway is Norman. We have moved on from Webley to Pembridge, which Arthur Mee describes as a walk in Tudor England. For he says its narrow streets and its marketplace are Tudor England, singularly attractive with nearly every house peeping shyly from under overhanging stories and odd gables. It is a delightful scene, with some houses which all will pick out for their charm. The new inn has huge beams running across it, and Tudor brackets supporting its overhanging story. The peal of Pembridge bells had hardly ceased to ring for the return of the Stuarts when Brian Dupper, Bishop of Winchester, founded the 6 almshouses in Bridge Street, and they still stand behind their strips of flowers, a charming study in black and white. The black and white almshouses in East Street were founded a few years after by Alice Trafford, a rector's wife who sleeps in the sanctuary of the church. Pembridge has long been known for its breed of Hereford cattle, and for 500 years the market hall has witnessed the bustling and jostling of drovers and herds in the little square. Its stone-tiled roof is borne on 8 oak pillars with notches for the planks on which the country folk displayed their wares. One of the pillars rests on the base of a medieval cross, and at one corner is a rough boundary stone. The church of this old town has a striking campanile 600 years old, the finest of the 7 detached towers of Herefordshire. It stands 50 feet away from the chancel, a little like an Eastern pagoda. In the church and in the belfry there are signs of the warfare that once raged round these walls. The holes in the west door are supposed to come from the Civil War, and behind the north door is a niche in the wall for the oak beam which strengthened the place against attack. We have now come to the third of the black and white villages that we are visiting today, Eardisland. Arthur Mee has its title as House Beautiful, for he says Eardisland has much to bring us here in summer and something attractive in winter, for the wide moat of a big mound near the church often gives good skating. That was in 1938. The River Arrow flows to the village and a wayward stream leaves it to serve an old mill. The banks are aglow with colour in the summer, and by the river is a second small earthwork which was the scene of cockfighting in barbaric days. There are fine old houses set haphazard about the village street. Stakehouse is believed to have been the Mott House in its early days. Part of it is 600 years old, and it has a rare beauty. The long, low lines of its mossy roof broken by gables, and its garden adorned with yews shaped like peacocks, and an ancient mulberry tree. Last July, restoration work was started on Stakehouse, so we cannot see it as it used to be until all that work has been done, because it's very important to restore the green oak framing. The gabled reading room with an overhanging storey was once the village school. Beside the bridge is a dismantled stone dovecot with 4 gabled sides and windows in its lower stage. There is a medieval roof over the chancel of the church, which has 13th century windows in its thick walls, a lofty 14th century porch with a timbered roof and a stone seat, and a 15th century screen. It has been interesting visiting 3 of the black and white villages and following Arthur Mee's guidebook written in 1938. Interesting and a challenge because things don't remain the same.